Νουν δεοθόν δε γάρμιν ἐφάντ ἐπιδήμιον ἔναι, σον πατέρ ἀλλά νυτόν γε θεοὶ βλάπτουσι κελεύθου, ουγαρ πό τέθνηκεν χθονὶ δῖος Odysseus, αλετιπού ζωός κατερύκεται εὐρέι πόντω, νήσῳ εν ἀμφιρύτษ์, χαλεποὶ δεμιν ἀνδρες ἔχουσιν, αγριοι χοι που κεῖνον κανωός αεκόντα. ἀλλάρ νουν το εγώ μαντεωσομαι ως εν θυμῷ αθανατoi βλάπτουσι, καιος τελεέσθαι οϊό. Οὔτε τιμάντισεον, οὐτ οἰωνῶν σαφαίδος. And now I came. And I think it can mean, and now I have come. But not necessarily. Only when the meter guarantees augment can you have a perfective, meaning guaranteed.
And it's not guaranteed.
And it's not guaranteed here. So I'll just say, and now I've come. I just said it tendentiously. I think the Greek just says, and now I came.
Yep.
By now, and I have my reasons for saying by now, not just now. I do it because by now, people say that he is in the community.
It's
past tense, though.
It's ἐφάντ, right?
ἔφαντ. Yeah, they said.
People were saying, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
They told me.
They said that he...
Yes, they told me, people told me that he was in the community, that is your father. That's why I came, but it turns out he's not here.
Yeah.
The idea, I think, is, and now I came, they said, and I just newly discovered that, for they said that he was in town.
Right.
Your father was.
Right.
And so that's something that I found out, and that's why I did it. I just found out, and that's the idea of the day there as well.
There's something about that line, we began with it this time. If we'd followed, our earlier session, you get to that line. To me, anyway, there's something strange about it. It's very lively.
I love it.
The nун δεοθόν. Well, anyway, it's hard to recapture.
It's like, and here I am.
Yeah.
Here I am. Why am I here? Well, I found out recently that people said that your father was in town. But now I know he's not.
It is like, now here I am.
Yeah. So, but in reality, now it turns out the gods are preventing him from his pathway, and that would be the pathway home. I say all this because, that's the idea of the God. I say all this because radiant Odysseus has not yet died. In the, I don't want to say on earth.
Why not?
Why not? Because I don't think the emphasis is on earth versus at sea. It's more
doesn't
like,
mean on land,
so I don't want to say on land, in his earthly existence, but that's too forced.
Shall I wait?
It's epikthoni.
Humans are called epikthonioi.
Yes,
people who live on
and they're earthbound.
Yeah.
Okay, so because, thank you, Doug, because epikthonioi are earthbound, they're just connected to the earth. It would be in his earthly connectedness.
Very good.
Is that
And
okay?
if I could just say
Please.
that the word human
Yes.
means the same thing.
Yes.
Humus is ground,
Yes.
and to be
Yes.
human is to be on the ground.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
As opposed to the gods who are in the sky,
Yes,
the celestials.
Because we humans are earthbound,
Right.
And so this has to do with his earthbound kind of death.
Right.
Yes, thank you. But he is still alive and is held back within the widespread crossing of the sea.
Pooh.
I think,
Or
somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
Let me try to do it again. But even now, somewhere he's alive, and he is being held back somewhere over the wide-ranging sea. How's that?
Okay.
Now it gets more specific. On an island that has water all around it, and harsh men have a hold of him. Men who are agrioi, who are savage, who do not prevent him, who do prevent him, some way or another, I think, unwilling though he is, or against his will, and not prevent him, hold him back,
Yep.
who do, I think, hold him back, that person, against his will. Okay, I've learned this from Anna Bonifazi, is whenever possible with aŭtǎr is to say as for. And so since this has a first person construction, as we see from the verb, I'm going to say, as for me now, I will give you an oracular utterance. I will deliver to you an oracular utterance, a prophetic expression, prophetic saying, to the effect that, or that, as the prophetic saying that I am saying is according to how the immortal gods place it in my, I'm going to say, mind, and as I myself think it will come to pass, it will come to fulfillment. I want to justify my saying mind for thumos because I genuinely think that thumos is 50% thinking, 50% feeling, and when thumos is the vehicle for thinking, then I translate it as thought, and when it's feeling, I translate it as heart. No, I take that back. It's mind and heart. Right. So for thinking, mind, for feeling, heart. Okay. And here I'm just going to go, it's a tipping point, I'm going to say mind. Even though I am neither an oracular practitioner, a seer, nor am I one who knows clearly about the things about birds. And when Greg sees a genitive that he cannot translate elegantly, Greg says, in connection with. So not being very knowledgeable in connection with birds. And it's not pretty, but I'm just trying to get to the basic idea of the genitive when all else fails. So that's it for me, right?
Right. So going back to Odysseus, this is the first time his name has been mentioned, right?
Right.
And there it is.
And it's to tell you that he's not dead.
He's not dead.
Where Islamic has been telling people that his bones are rolling in the...
Right.
Right?
Right. I wanted to comment on something else here. I mean, there are many things, I'm sure.
Yes.
But anyway, I'll just jump in with this one. And that is that Athena, skipping all the business at the end about her not being a prophet, which is kind of heavy with irony and so on, because she's a goddess and she knows it all. She actually gives a true account, as far as the Odyssey is concerned, through the first part of what she says, right? That he's not dead, and that he's on an island, and that's all true.
Right.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's something different. She's making it up now, right?
Right.
That harsh men, wild men, right, are holding him, so here, anyway, I'm just going to throw a thought out that when you get these lies in the Odyssey, I have an idea that often they're referring to alternate versions of the Odyssey.
Yes.
That there may have been earlier versions where Calypso didn't even exist. She wasn't part of it yet. But Odysseus may have been held, who knows, on Crete or somewhere or other by wild men. So there's an interesting thing going on when lies are told. I talked about this earlier with, the Phaeacians versus the Phoenicians.
There's another thing about what she says here, which is there is somebody who mean men are holding back and who's on an island, and that's Telemachus, right?
That will happen.
Well, no, that is where his current situation.
Oh, I see, in Ithaca.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So in other words, she's setting up an equivalence between the father and the son, which is part of her mission, right?
I would like to see whether, and we'll have to look this up, whether agioi ever refers to the suitors.
Yeah, I don't think it does, but I think the notion of being held back does by people who are halepoὶ.
But the holding back, of course, makes you think that there could be, and I'm going back to what Doug was saying earlier, there could be so many variations on the theme of ogres imprisoning Odysseus. And one way to keep things abstract is to make it plural, but I think of the Cyclops and his cave in the sense that they are trapped.
They're wild.
They're trapped, they're held back.
And those people are agioi.
And then there's so many Mediterranean myths that are not necessarily Greek, where an ogre not only holds the men of the adventurer leader, but sort of holds them like livestock almost, and lets them out to graze in the daytime, and then when they come back to the castle, 2 of them get eaten, and then they go back out again, then they come back, 2 more get eaten, and you say, wait a minute, why are they going back? Well, it's the way sheep and cattle
go back and forth.
Go back to their nighttime stations, and then some of them get eaten, and then they just go out and pasture again the next day. They come back, some more may get eaten as you go through the life cycle. And I think that this holding back is like cattle and sheep.
Being in a sheepfold.
Yeah. Just a thought.
I want to go back to the Athena's not quite telling it like it is. So when does Telemachus actually find out where Odysseus is now? This has to do with his needing to go to talk with, first Nestor, but then Menelaus. It's Menelaus who can tell him, because the old man of the sea
told him, yeah.
tells him that this is where Odysseus is now. So it's the whole
This is the only
whole
thing that he
journey,
learns.
the whole
Yeah.
journey that Telemachus has to make has
Yes.
that purpose to find out where his father is. So he can't find out now. I mean,
Yeah.
there would be no purpose in the journey.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
And to find out would be pinthanomai, and that's going to be the big operative verb.
Yeah.
I know it's coming up.
Okay.
Okay.